Good afternoon. It is I, Sock Marionette, on my Bargain Counter Argument channel, and this is Midweek Motivation, an hour late and a dollar short. Apparently, there's nobody here, but we'll see. Oh, there's at least one person here, according to StreamYard. So, today actually turned out to be a day in which things needed to get done. And I considered canceling midweek motivation altogether for this week, but you know what? I enjoy doing this and it helps me, excuse me, it helps me a lot. So I was like, I am going to try to make this happen. So here I am. It's gonna be kind of no frills. As you may recall, last week I said I was going to read a Regency romance, 188-page Regency romance called Wife Errant by Joan Smith. Well, because I'm starting late and I don't want to go too long, I'm not going to do that this week. I'll do that next week. However, I do have something to read, but first, Barkity, says Wyoming, Barkity, and I have a canine who wants to say hello to you and to Silly. It's Wile E. Coyote, super genius. Wave to the people, Wiley. He's got a little jingle bell with a Santa hat. He wears that all the time because he's smiling. He likes the look. Okay, so what happened? This week has already been, I feel like it's like Friday already. Monday, I did an online vision test. This is not like for the overall eye exam that you get from the doctor where they check for glaucoma and macular degeneration and stuff like that. This was just for my contact lens prescription so that I could order more contact lenses. And I've done it before. It's not that hard, except I flunked it. I flunked it big time. I flunked it so hard that they were like, yeah, we can't issue you a prescription because it's too different from your last prescription. And we need you to talk to, we need you to go to an actual like in-person eye doctor. And I was like, but my own experience is not that my eyesight is deteriorating that much, but I know felt like I was having trouble with the eye test. So I was like, well, I have been wearing these specific pair of contact lenses for a while. So it's probably time to get a fresh pair. And I got a fresh pair and I put them in and everything was so much clearer. And I realized last time I put the old pair in, I had accidentally reversed them. So I was wearing the lens that corrects for my left eye was in my right eye and vice versa. And that's something I've done this before. It's not really that big of a deal. It's just that when you're taking an eye test and you're covering one eye and then the other eye, then it becomes really obvious that there's something wrong. So once I did that and corrected it, I took the test again and I was fine. So that was Monday. And then yesterday I had to go to the dentist and that was a little rough, but I knew waiting for me at home was my pal Dee Dee. She is a beaver and she has big old teeth. She was actually, I used to work for Delta Dental Plan of California, which is a part of the whole Delta Dental Insurance, companies. And she was like a souvenir. She had a little t-shirt that said Delta Dental Plan of California. She doesn't have it anymore, but I called her Dee Dee for Delta Dental. So she was waiting for me when I got home. And then after I got home and I was just like relaxing and thinking, okay, I don't have anything to do until midweek motivation on tomorrow. My mom comes in and she had forgotten she had an appointment and she wanted me to go with her in case she didn't feel like driving. And I was like, oh dear. So I went with her to her appointment. Now she actually ended up doing all of the driving, but she likes it if I can go with her in case she feels like she can't drive or she doesn't want to drive or she's too stressed out or whatever. So, I didn't end up having to do any driving, but I went with her. And then we went to the library afterward because we were going to the library in the next town south of here, Durham, Connecticut. And Durham has the largest fall fair in the entire state of Connecticut, and it starts tomorrow. And the library is closed until Monday, after today. So we wanted to get our books returned and get our holds off the hold shelf. So then we get home. No, we're not done yet. And there was a box waiting for me on the porch. I have been ordering my who's I've been ordering my fall wardrobe from Amazon just over the last couple of days, and this is the first thing that they sent to me. So here is an unboxing. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh! I didn't look. I assumed that this was um from Amazon, but it's not. It is from Kristen Lee. I opened it and I was expecting to find a handbag, and there were books. Okay, I did not look at what they are. I'm setting it aside because if she wants to hang out with me while I open them, I will do that. So that's not what I thought it was going to be. Awesome. Anyway, so Wyoming has this. Oh, look, I know. I thought it was going to be this handbag I had ordered, which is not a particularly large handbag. So this is like a totally, whoops. I don't think I'm showing anybody's address. This is like a totally realistic box for it to be in. But it's not. It's books. I have to get on Discord and DM her and ask her if that's so exciting. I know. I'll have to get on Discord and DM Kristen and see if she's around and if she wants to join us so she can see me unbox them live and in person. I'm supposed to send her some books. It's kind of like a book exchange, except that I haven't done it yet. I did not know she was already on it. Anyway, that's very exciting. So yes, that's enough of me rambling about my day. And I think I want to jump into 10 minutes of yuck, because one of the things I did was when I got home, I just immediately wanted to get out of my street clothes and into my cozies. Gwen is like, that is not an Amazon box. I know, but I thought it was like the manufacturer's box or something. I don't know. It's been the last few days, been a little bit. However, Gwen, one of the things I picked up at the library was a book that you kind of recommended when I was talking about the kisses in the wine, and it had all of these great descriptions of gardens and real estate. And you were like, oh, I don't like that. I'm like, I do. And you were like, ooh, maybe you should read the new Nora Roberts, Hidden Nature. I think that was you who was suggesting that. Guess what I got at the library? Hidden Nature by Nora Roberts. Nice. I picked up a couple of other things, but I was just about to jump into 10 minutes of yuck, which was like when I got home, I wanted to, we got home, we walked in the door, I started lunch, and then I wanted to get out of my street clothes and into my cozies. Enjoy, says Gwen. I'm sure I will. I wanted to get out of my street clothes and into my cozies, and so and then I had to go back downstairs and make sure lunch wasn't like burning or whatever. So I did that, and I just kind of just threw everything on the floor because I was in a hurry to get back downstairs. So my 10 minutes of yuck is going to be picking up my clothes, putting them away, getting my everyday carry sorted, and all of that. So I am ready to get into 10 minutes of yuck, and I hope you are as well. So we are sprinting until, let me get the radio station squared away. The River 105.9, variety from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Oopsie. Okay. So we're sprinting until 20 minutes past the hour. Oops, not 30, 20. And here is the radio station. And I will mute the mic and DM Kristen to see if she's around. And I will see you in 10 minutes. Okay, that was 10 minutes. I got my stuff put away, and look who's here. It's Kristen in the chat. Hi, Kristen in the chat. So, should I go ahead and open these? I mean, I already opened the box, but as soon as I saw it was books, I was just like, nope, 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 because I thought it was a handbag. And Gwen was like, wait a minute, that's not an Amazon package. And I'm like, I thought it was from the manufacturer. Kristen says, I hope you like them. Well, yes, says Wyoming, and Kristen agrees. Yes, open. Now, I believe, is this a Harlequin box? It's got the vibrant red. I was not expecting this box this soon, and I have not moved on sending you your books in exchange at all yet. Maybe I'll send them back in the same box. Okay, what do we have here? We have A Kiss to Stop the Wedding by Sarah Mallory. Very pretty. Very pretty. Oh, that's gorgeous. July of 2025. Thank you. Thank you. That is so pretty. And oh yeah, Kristen actually asked me if I wanted this one. It's Blood, Tears, and Folly, Volume 1. It's a mass market history book. An objective look at World War II. That'll be interesting to read. It's by Len Dayton, and I didn't even realize that he wrote nonfiction. Oops. Oh, wait, this is the side. I didn't realize he wrote nonfiction because I am familiar with him as being somebody who wrote fiction, but apparently he also wrote nonfiction. He might have started off as a reporter. I'm not sure. It is, says Kristen. Ooh, I get a Harlequin box. He served in the RAF, Len Dayton did. He was a magazine illustrator, and that was when he started writing his first novel, which was The Ipcress File, which was made into a movie with Michael Caine in the 60s. And here we have The Rancher's Temptation. Ooh. The Rancher's Temptation. They're having a feed sale at the Orchard. What is it? OHS, Orchard Hardware Supply. Yeah, they're having a feed sale at the Orchard Hardware Supply, and he's like, do I really want to change my feed? Oh, so tempting, so tempting. My grandfather was a rancher. I know it's what. And The Cowboy Who Came Home. These are both Harlequin Special Edition, and this one is April 2025, The Cowboy Who Came Home by Kathy Douglas with 2 S's. And this one is July of 2025. Thank you so much, Kristen. Oh, and a bookmark. Ooh. Oh, and it looks like you could actually write on this bookmark because you have all these books, but they don't have anything on the spines. Fun. Neat. Neat. And look, on the shelf, they have an Instagram logo or a camera. It's kind of the same thing. Thank you so much, Kristen. I appreciate it. Have you actually read any of these, or were these just books you didn't think you were going to read? Or Cowboy Romance, so fun. I have a Western shelf downstairs, and I keep meaning to take a picture of it for the Instagram shelfie, and I haven't yet. I just haven't. Another casualty of summer. But Comeback Trail, that's where I am. So thank you so much, Kristen. I appreciate it. That's beautiful. I think these are those max paperbacks like B was talking about that are probably going to be, are starting to have already for Harlequin replaced mass markets. As you can see, this is like a traditional mass market. And as you can see, this is both taller and wider. I actually do have some historicals that are not mass. What do they call them? Oh, now I just used the phrase and now I can't remember. It's been a long couple of days. Not going to lie about that. Max. A couple of these Max paperbacks. I already have some historicals that are like that. It's kind of like, okay, I actually have them shelved separately from the mass markets because they just stick out in a weird way, but they're so pretty, and they are nice. She's not, Kristen says she hasn't read any of the ones I said. What I like about the Max paperbacks is that they're smaller than trades, but they still, at least these, still have that like floppy quality that you don't always get from mass markets. Okay, and it looks like these are $7.99 is the retail on, I think, all of them. $7.99 and $7.99, and that's for a book that is max paperback is like around 270, 280 pages. So actually $7.99. I mean, mass markets are getting up to being that expensive, or at least they have been. So, so that's the thing. Okay, now I thought I would show you guys my reading log. I don't know if you remember, but it looks like this because I am not marking books read. I am marking time spent reading because I already keep track of the books I read on Goodreads and Storygraph. So this is just how much time I spend reading, and it is color coded. We have 5 different colors here. Brown is books I've read that I own. Green is fan fiction, blogs, journalism, commentary, things like that that I read specifically online. Orange is Kindle Unlimited. I've been racking up a lot of Kindle Unlimited hours because of the fall challenge. Been reading a lot of stuff on Kindle Unlimited for that. Having a good time with that. Blue is for library books, and yellow is for ARC, advanced reader copies. And I read one, it was called Cinderella's Fling with the Billionaire. It's a Harlequin romance that's coming out on the 30th, which is a week from yesterday, so Tuesday. I thought it was going to be a Cinderella retelling that I could use for that square on the Fall Challenge bingo board, but it really wasn't. I mean, she was kind of a Cinderella-ish figure, but it wasn't really a Cinderella retelling. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Would recommend, but it was not. So I didn't. I read it and left a review on NetGalley, but I did not use it for a bingo square. However, I've started one that does fulfill a bingo square. It is called Second Chance Under the Mistletoe, and it is coming out at the end of October, and that will be for my second chance bingo board. I've already finished the hard mode, read a lot of like short stories, like long short stories, short novellas on Kindle Unlimited for all those monster prompts. Really broadened my horizons a bit. I mean, I read supernatural fan fiction, and I still have not seen everything. So it's nice that there's still more worlds for me to conquer. I read some that it was like, oh, I'm pretty sure this is like AI slop, but that was kind of interesting to read in itself, in a way. And so I finished the hard board a couple of days ago, and this morning I finished, or actually, was it this morning? Yes, this morning I finished the medium board. So the only one I have left is I have 4 prompts left on the easy board. So I have Second Chance Romance, which is in progress. I was reading that while I was waiting for my mom today. And another book that's set in fall because I already read one. I don't even remember. Oh yeah, that was a cute story. I can't remember what it was called. I left it under book suggestions. It's Happily Ever After, only it's Appley like apple the fruit. Happily Ever After. It's part of the Hot Mess Honeymoon series, which are novellas about these weddings that go awry, or people are supposed to go on their honeymoon, but it doesn't quite work out the way they had planned or whatever. So I really enjoyed Happily Ever After, so I'm going to read more from that series. And I think there are 3 or 4 books. I think it's not, I mean, they're novellas, they're not super long. And I read my over 400 page book last night, which was, I reread Rose Madder by Stephen King. Gwen says, "You're putting us to shame, Sock." Well, let's not forget that I don't, I don't have, for the most part, I don't have a lot of demands on my time. I read very quickly, and I've been reading, books that stories that are only like 40 pages long or 70 pages long or something like that. Hey, Stormy, nice to see you. Oh, and today at the library, I picked up a book for female detective. I was going to read one of my own books for that, but it was a longer book, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I can actually get the whole challenge finished by the end of the month. Maybe. So I got this. I got the first Nancy Drew book, The Secret of the Old Clock. Oh, yeah. So I thought I'd read that during the sprints today because, again, Wife Errant by Joan Smith, the one that I was originally planning to read, I think it's too long for because we're not doing a whole we're not gonna I don't want to go too long today because I started late because, again, I was out running around. And Kristen says, holy moly, I'll be singing the Eternal Flame song to you. Is that the Bangles Eternal Flame? So anyway, so we have Secrets of the Old Clock. I was working on this, and then next week I will read Errant Wife by Joan Smith. Oh, and I wanted to tell people, I mentioned it in a couple the live I did with Stormy last Thursday. The book I read last week, I meant to hold it up, but it's on the other side of the room. Magnificent Splendor by Kathy Clark, the astronaut book that I was a little dubious about, but really, really enjoyed. That's actually available on Kindle Unlimited. I did not realize that until I logged it after I read it. So if you guys want to read that and you have Kindle Unlimited subscription, yay, says Stormy. And Stacy says, hello, casually showing up late. Well, I not so casually showed up late. I actually prearranged to show up late, so I think the stressful parts of my week are hopefully over, and I don't have anything planned for tomorrow. Although we took my mom's car because I was like, that way she could drive, and if she decided she didn't want to drive anymore, then I could take over, as opposed to taking my car, where like she'd have to, if she wanted to drive, she'd be driving a less familiar vehicle. Which, again, she did all the driving, so it was not a thing. But while I was waiting for her, I had to turn the car on. She's got one of those keyless entry systems, and I have a key for it. I had to turn it on because I was getting a little warm, and it started beeping at me because my fob needs its battery replaced. So I might go out tomorrow and get that taken care of, and I might swing by Aldi and stuff like that. Storm has a comment. She says what she's up to. I am working on my chapters for today of Hour of the Hunter, not my favorite Jance book, first in the Walker series. Well, hopefully it either picks up, or subsequent books in the Walker series are more to your liking, because, yeah, that would kind of blow if you're like, oh, a new series from or a new to you series from J.A. Jance, and you're like, oh, I don't like this Walker character. No, not for me. So anyway. So this is the female detective. So these are the prompts I still have left. Female detective. The other book that's set in fall or autumn is, I found an MM romance. I can't remember what it's called. Hang on a second. Let me check my content library. Let's see. Because I have these. Again, I'm just kind of disconnected this week, and that's okay. Sometimes all you do is show up. Wait. My content library. This is fun. This is gripping entertainment. Gripping. Okay, the other book, the autumn book, is Don't Scare Me, My Love, which is a gay autumn romance. And it is, this one's 198 pages, so it's like category length. And so you have one character who is a YouTuber who likes to go to like scary haunted places, and he ends up meeting another dude who wears an eye patch. but his stories about how he got it are gory and entertaining, even if they're clearly made up. They talk longer than expected, and soon they compete to see who is the crazier one. It ends with a dare. If Nicholas can scare Jason, he'll go on a date with him. Challenge accepted. There's only one problem. Jason is not so easy to scare. So they're going to have like a let's try to scare this dude. And he's like, I cannot be scared. That should be fun. Again, that's a longer one. That's actually like category length. And the other book is a book with a hot beverage on the cover. Originally, I was going to read The Graham Effect by L. Kennedy, but that's almost 500 pages long. And that's, that's kind of long. Same this whole week, says Stacy. My body is present, but my brain isn't. Extra tired. Maybe it's the weather changing. Just trying to fumble my way through. Well, actually, I've been kind of on a yo-yo in terms of how the weather's affecting me, because we'll have a few days in a row where it's fairly nice, and then we'll have like today is really hot and humid and it's not nice. But basically, I'm feeling much better than I did over the summer. I don't know. I mentioned this at the beginning. I had the dentist yesterday, and it was a bit more than I was expecting in terms of like, yeah, I just was longer in the chair longer, and there was more discomfort. So I was very tired afterward. And then, of course, I had to go running around today when I didn't expect to be running around today, but it's all behind me, and I may or may not go out tomorrow. And then this is going to be exciting. Friday is a library sale in Guilford, Connecticut. And last time I went to this library sale, I actually found a Raggedy Ann and Andy pair. I was going to bring them up and show them to you guys, but they're downstairs and I'm not. I asked them if they wanted to go with me to the library sale that they came from, and they kind of looked sheepish. And I got the impression that they don't want to go back to Guilford. I don't know. Maybe there's a bench warrant or something. I don't know what's going on there. So anyway, okay, so female detective, the gay autumn romance. Yeah, the hot beverage on the cover. Again, I was gonna read The Graham Effect, but it's like almost 500 pages long, so maybe not. So instead, I found another 198 page book. Or is it 198? It is, yeah, 190 pages, again, about the length of the category romance. And it is called Grounds for Romance by Mel Walker. And it is about a woman who hangs out a lot in a coffee shop. And she meets a new barista whom they call Mr. Chaos. So yeah, and it's got a giant coffee mug on the cover. It's like the coffee mug is bigger than the characters. Anyway, so that's Grounds for Romance, the Coffee Loft series Fall Collection, Small Town Romantic Comedy by Mel Walker again, and then the other one, Don't Scare Me, My Love, a Gay Romance, which is also a romantic comedy. It is by Flynn Woods. So that plus Female Detective plus Second Chance Under the Mistletoe, which is the Harlequin romance that's coming out in October, which I'm already about a third of the way through, which I'm reading as an e-arc. And I will be done. I know. I don't know if I'll actually be done by this time next week, but it's possible. I'm reading Bull Moon Rising by, says Gwen. It's 16 hours. It's for the Minotaur clump, or Minotaur in some countries. I think I read something short. I started Bull Moon Rising several months ago. I don't know how long it's been out. I had it out from the library. It was beautiful. It was a sprayed edges and everything. It was a gorgeous copy. And I just couldn't get into it. I like Ruby Dixon's that is Ruby Dixon, I believe. I like the books I've read from the Ice Planet Barbarians series. But I don't know. It wasn't quite for me. There's nothing wrong with the way it was written, obviously. I enjoy her writing, but it was just something about the setting, the fantasy setting. I don't know. It was just not where my head was at that particular day. I might come back to it later. But yeah, that's a good one for Minotaur. Okay. So I think what I will do is I will start Nancy Drew. and I will read and then recap at the next break from sprints. Do we want to do, let's see, it is about 20 minutes to the hour, 4 o'clock on the East Coast. What, 20 minutes to 4 on the East Coast, so 20 minutes to 1 on Pacific. So half an hour and then we can reconvene. Kristen says, I have to film a few videos. Well, if you are in a stopping point in a half an hour, please come back. And if you don't, thank you again for sending me these books. And I will get cracking on sending you some books. Like I said, maybe even in the same box. I know you're not going to be home. So it sounds good, says Stacy. I know, Kristen, you're not going to be home. So I don't know how long you're going to be gone. So somebody will be at Kristen's house, though. So don't break in. Don't do it anyway. Okay, so we are going to sprint until 10 minutes past the hour. No, I'm using your sprint for productivity, says Kristen. Until... Okay, well, if you are in a position to come back, I hope you do. But if you are on a roll, then ride that energy. And I will see you guys in a half an hour. Okay, it's been a half an hour, and uh, I hope people enjoyed their half-hour sprint. I have made some progress in The Secret of the Old Clock, the first Nancy Drew story. I had forgotten that Nancy Drew had actually already finished high school and was 18 years old at this point. That box is going to be flying around the country. Yes, yes. It's a really, really sturdy box. Very sturdy. Nice, nice, nice job, Harlequin. Anyway, so I don't think I've ever read this one. I haven't read any Nancy Drew books since hmm, it's been over 40 years since I've read a Nancy Drew book, but I don't think I ever actually read the first one. I read a lot of the early ones. The Bungalow Mystery, I think I read. Redgate Farm, I think I'm just reading like this is the first 6 books or so are listed here. Redgate Farm. I don't know that I read Lilac Inn. Anyway, so basically what's happening is we're get introduced to 18-year-old Nancy Drew. Uh and she is just bumming down a rural highway and she sees a little girl fall off of a bridge and toward a creek. So Nancy immediately pulls over, jumps out of her car, and makes sure the little girl is not drowning, and she's not. And the little girl's elderly maiden aunts, I don't know what elderly means in this context. I mean, they might just be in their 50s, I'm not sure. They come running across the road and they're demanding to know whether Nancy, ran their niece off the road or whatever. And it's like, no, she just fell. And so they apologize to Nancy. And Nancy helps them get the little girl into the house. They apologize for assuming that Nancy had run her off the road. And she ends up talking to them. And it turns out they don't have a whole lot of money. But they had this older relative who died. And they thought he was going to leave them some money. But apparently he didn't. He went off to live with this family in town, the Tophams. And Nancy's like, oh, yeah, I know the Tophams. They're really well to do. Why would they need his money? And I'm like, well, apparently he left all his money to the Tophams and none to us or some of the other people he was planning to leave bequests to. And Nancy's like, wait a minute, the Tophams, I think I know the daughters in that family. They're like my age. And, and the answer immediately kind of like, well, are they friends of yours? And she's like, no. And Nancy's thinking to herself, I don't like to gossip, but they're not nice girls. I mean, like, they're mean girls. Anyway, so basically, what's happening is that all of these people who had been relatives to the guy who died, they all have the same story. They thought he said he was going to write a new will. They thought this was about a year previously. They thought and that he was going to leave them some of his money because he had a fair amount. And all of them like he died, and it turned out he left everything to this family that was already wealthy, the Tophams. And so they all think that, yeah, there was a new will, but nobody knows where it is. And it turns out he liked to hide stuff around the house. And I'm wondering where that will could have possibly been hidden. Could it be in the old clock? I'm thinking it was. And let's see. So this is like this whole town, Nancy included, runs on gossip and stuff overheard, and people just, yeah. If you don't know somebody, you will soon, and you will know all their stuff. So I'm guessing that's where he left the will was probably in the old clock. Anyway, at this point, I am on page 74, 75. So I've got a little over 100 pages left, 105 pages left. It's going very quickly, of course, because it's for younger readers, younger than I. And so it's relatively easy to read, both the way it's written and just the way they published it. And so, yeah. So that's where I am in that. How's everybody else doing with their sprint activities? Boy, forgotten how to talk. Oh, there's a comment here that I didn't see. There we go. They say they're rich, but are they really? Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, Gwen. Is like, are they like on the verge of ruin? The original copyright date on this is 1930. So I'm wondering if they lost everything in the crash. Yeah, I'm guessing they don't have a lot of money. Uh, they live in a big house, but maybe there's some reason that they don't have as much money, or maybe they're just greedy. That's entirely possible too. We know that they're not those girls that Nancy went to high school with, the daughters. They're not nice people, and they're like really mean to. She sees them in a department store where they're being really mean to the staff and not treating the merchandise very well, even though they're like, our dad owns stock in this in this store, and their mother's with them. She's like, my husband owns stock in this store, and it's like, dude, then you probably shouldn't be wasting the salespeople, the sales staff's time, and you shouldn't be damaging the merchandise. You are hurting your own bottom line. So anyway, that's what I got up to. So the question I have is, first off, why did they just take the money out of greed, or are they actually suffering financial difficulties of their own? And is the will in the old clock, or does the old clock contain like a hint that leads to the actual location of the will, the updated will? So anyway, that's where I am. And I'm ready to go back into it, unless somebody wants to share what they've been up to, because I'd like to know. But if people are just like not in a position to share, oh, I can mark my reading log, because that was a half an hour of reading a library book. So that's the blue pen. Ooh, boy. There we go. A half an hour with the blue pen, because it's a library book. Ooh, Wyoming says I'm really sick, nasty cold. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I hope you're cuddled up on a couch or in bed or something, taking it easy, and Silly is bringing you like chicken soup and tea and things of that nature. Okay, well, I think it is almost 20 minutes past the hour. It is like 4:19 where I live. And I'm thinking I might actually do a 40-minute sprint to the top of the hour, which would be 5 p.m. for me and 2 p.m. for the West Coast. And the folks in the middle can figure that one out. Stormy says, so I finished baking my very first attempt at sourdough. Has to cool down sometimes, so we will tell if it's any good. LOL. Well, even if it's not, it's like that's a noble effort. So yes, but I would like to know too. So yeah, okay. And Stacy says, "Oh man, feel better soon, Wyoming." Yes, please feel better soon, because colds are not fun. Okay, so let's go ahead and sprint until the top of the hour, and so I'll see you in a little less than 40 minutes, just about 40 minutes. Sprinting. And Storm says, yeah, my friend said her first few were not great, but now she's really good at bread baking. Yeah, I think there's a bit of a learning curve there, I would imagine. Thank you. I've been on the sofa all day, says Wyoming. Well, if you have any TV shows or movies you like, maybe instead of I don't know if you're trying to read or have an audiobook or if you're watching TV, but I hope whatever you're doing, it is relaxing but also distracting. So sprinting until oops. Okay, so I'll see you in about 40 minutes. Whew. Okay, it is the top of the hour, and I finished The Secret of the Old Clock, and the will was indeed in an old clock, but the problem was tracking the old clock down once they figured out that was probably where it was. So that was like probably around half the book was just trying to find the old clock. And so I finished that. Like I said, it's been over 40 years since I've read a Nancy Drew book. And it'll probably be another 40 years before I read a Nancy Drew book. Gwen says, I read Pumpkins in Paradise by Kathy Daly for my set in fall book. The stories was all about puzzles and hidden clues. Nice. Was it any good? And during the sprint, the handbag I ordered arrived. It's bigger than I expected. I mean, they had the measurements on there, but for some reason my little brain couldn't figure it out. And Stormy says, I have 2 chapters left in what I need to finish for today of Hour of the Hunters. Is it getting any better, or is it still kind of mid, or not even that? Okay, so what we have here, this is a bag, and it's got this kind of handle, but it also has a nice long strap that I can attach to this hardware here. Stormy says, I like that series by Kathy Daly. Nice. I don't know if you can see because of the way the lighting is in here, but this has a design on it that's Greek key. Sometimes that's called Greek key. Sometimes it's called Greek wave. And there is also an echo of that. It has one of these clips attached to it. Nice and heavy. And Gwen says, it was very good. Looking forward to reading the series. Well, Stormy endorses it as well. This clip also has a modified, simplified Greek key / Greek wave design and little metal tassel. I'm thinking this is going to go on the fall tree as an ornament because I don't think I need it to be on the purse. Anyway, so that's going to be my fall purse. I actually don't carry a purse very often because usually I'm wearing jeans and I just put my stuff in my pockets. But anyway, oh, also, I don't know if Kristen's around or if she's busy filming still. I explored the box a little bit more, and she had also enclosed some stickers. Yeah, I can pick them up. We have this one, which is a lady with a bun carrying a stack of books. And then this one, which is a stack of books. And they have designs on the spines, but they don't specify what the books are. Stormy says, it's okay. It's just not a mystery like I'm used to with her books. Hoping going forward, it might be more of a mystery series. I kind of think it wasn't going to be a series at first. Ah, I see. If Stacy's still around, I have a question for her. But yeah, so I finished Nancy Drew. So I got my female detective prompt is done and logged. And I still need the other fall romance. Because I did one of them. And book with a hot beverage on the cover. And what was the other one? I don't remember. My brain, she hurts. Second Chance Romance. I keep forgetting about that one because I've already started the book. So, but I think of the book that I'm reading for that. It's an arc. So I'm thinking of it in terms of I want to read that book so I can give feedback because it's an arc I have on NetGalley versus I want to finish reading the book. I mean, I want, and also I'm enjoying it. Versus uh it being on my to-do list because it's a prompt. It's on my to-do list. It's on two different to-do lists. I don't know. I'm tired. And I'm not going to do another sprint. I'm kind of wrapping up. And I'm also kind of hungry. We had lunch when we got home, but it wasn't very substantial. So I am kind of hungry. I'm probably going to have a muffin after we're done here. And yeah, so tomorrow I might go out and do some stuff, or I might not. You just don't know with me. And Friday, I definitely want to go to Guilford to go to the library sale there. So that's the deal. And then I think Saturday, I don't think I have anything planned until next midweek motivation after Friday. I mean, I'll do stuff, but I don't have anything specific. Like I don't have any appointments I need to go to, and neither does Mom Marionette. And let's see. So next week I will read Wife Errant by Joan Smith. That's the Regency romance from I think it was 1992 that was published by Fawcett Crest, and it's like 188 pages or thereabouts. So that will be that next week for midweek motivation. Uh-oh. I pushed the wrong button. Now I can't see the comments. Ah, there they are. Have a good rest of your day, says Stormy. Thank you. Same to you. Same to you. I will make sure that I put this on the fall tree. Let's see. So if anybody else has anything you want to say. Okay, so midweek motivation next week will be back to 2 o'clock. It was just today, it was an hour late for reasons, as discussed, but that's not going to be the case next week. So thank you so much for joining me. Next week should be a little longer. We'll start at 2 and probably go until 5 or so. But today, yeah, I'm just happy I managed to show up yet again. So thank you all for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next week, if not before. Oh, thank you, Wyoming. I hope you start to feel better soon. Bye, Gwen.